Is it time to say goodbye? Here we are on the 21 Honda Goldwing DC Tour. Hard to believe that I had this bike now 2.5 years. Those of you that have been on the channel for a while know how I got it, but quick synopsis for the new people here. I traded this bike for a 2019 Kawasaki Vulcan Voyager, which I bought new in May of 21. I never set out to get a Goldwing, never thought I'd have a DCT, and I had the Vulcan Voyager because I never owned or rode a big, heavy V-twin touring bike for an extended period of time. So I jumped in feet first, bought that, and my first ride ever home was in Slidell, Louisiana, 52 miles on I-10 through New Orleans in bumper-to-bumper traffic. And that's how I learned how to ride a big, heavy touring bike. Baptism under fire. And that bike, reliable, fun, did everything I wanted for the 2 years. And then I started thinking, let's try something different. And along came this opportunity, which I wasn't even looking for. And thought, you know what? Let's try the Goldwing. It's the Mecca. Let's try the DCT, see why people hate it. And here we are, 2.5 years later. I said I'd keep this bike for a year, flip it, and try something new. Well, 2.5 years later, what does that tell you about the Goldwing? That's how good it is. However, you all know I do like to try and own different bikes to give you perspective from the ownership standpoint, not just a ride review. They're good, but they're not as thorough because you just haven't spent as much time as you'd like. So 2.5 years, a lot of good rides, a lot of good places, a lot of different states in the Southeast. Is it time? I'm asking you, should I sell the Goldwing? This is a 21 non-tour DCT. Love the color, love the saddleman seat that I have heated. This thing's awesome. Because we're getting into the tweener area of this bike still has good value where I could get a good dollar for it to get up to something different. Or if I keep it, probably keeping it for the long haul because every year it's diminishing returns, right? So we're kind of in the sweet spot. So I'm asking you, what do you all think out there, especially the people that have been at the channel from the inception or quite early along the way? And what bike would you like to see on the channel if we went ahead and did say goodbye to the Goldwing? Wide open. Doesn't have to be a bagger, doesn't have to be touring. Any class, sport bike, touring, sport touring, off-road, you know. I mean, I've looked at so many different bikes. The R1300 RT from BMW, the GS 1300, the Rocket 3 GT, the Indian Scout 101, the Indian Chief Dark Horse 116, the Harley ST. I mean, there's so many bikes out there. Now leave it down in the comments below what bike you'd like to see. And look, within reason, I'm not going out and buying a K1 Arch motorcycle. That is a $80,000 to $100,000 bike. Not going to happen. Unless we're doing donations from the channel and sponsorships, different story. Happy to do it. Now this Goldwing to me, you know, coming into it, the first time owner, I didn't know much about it, other than a few little YouTube videos. But one of the things that absolutely stunned me the most was how well this handles in every condition. Especially, you all know I love riding these twisty mountain roads, super technical. This thing is unbelievable. I still can't believe it when I ride and put it in sport mode, how well this thing, for an 800 plus pound, quote, touring, bagger, whatever you want to call it, motorcycle, handles. I mean, it really does handle like a sport touring motorcycle and not a big clumsy touring bike at all. You know, put this thing on the highway and all the easy stuff. I mean, it's easy for this, so easy. But the fact that the performance in those twisty mountain roads with the ascents, the descents, I mean, it's just unbelievable. Really is. That is one of the main reasons I would not want to let this bike go. It's like having a little sport bike with all the comforts. So, you know, it just does so many things so well. I've had comments about how boring it is. It's the minivan of motorcycles. It sounds like a sewing machine. If you don't want to be noticed and you're looking to be bored, you get a Goldwing. Well, not quite sure if that person has ever ridden one, because I definitely wouldn't say that it's boring. Now, it may not be the look you want, but that's subjective. That's fine. Does it sound like a sewing machine? It's a pretty cool sewing machine, I'd say. I think more like a jetliner when it takes off. You're not going to have that loud V-twin rumble, right? But that's not what you're looking for out of this bike. You know, stock out of the box, any of the V-twin brands, this thing, it's going to bury it. I mean, unless you're doing all the mods and the after stuff. Woo, go ahead, Ram. I mean, this thing stock out of the box, 124 horsepower, just lots of guts, lots of torque. Such a great value. Woo, that guy is just losing his diesel as he goes. Woo, smells good too. Thank you, buddy. So if I was to make the choice, you know, I would miss the Goldwing for many reasons. That being one, the wind protection, the windscreen. You know, I know other bikes have them. This one's just so good. And look, electronically adjustable, right? Wow, super easy. Heated grips, aftermarket heated seat that I put on, which is phenomenal. The navigation to me has always been fine. The radio, it just stinks, but I don't listen to it. I can use earbuds if I want. So, I mean, you know, here we go. Got some bikes. Great fall day last week of October 2024. And as we get up to these mountain roads, you'll be able to see all the foliage changing as well. But I don't know. I'm torn. Sell or not sell. Both from the financial standpoint of its value is never going to be higher than it is now, and it's just going to start declining even more. It held value for pretty good. You know, and whoever, if I do sell this, whoever gets this bike is getting a supreme machine. I mean, you know, well, I got all the maintenance records. I keep this in a garage, climate controlled, usually 65 degrees year round. I mean, it's always kept clean, oil change, fluid, it's tires, all that stuff. I mean, you're getting a perfectly running machine. And I invested the $240 and put the skid plate on the bottom to protect the engine. And the engine, I mean, that thing, God, the flat V6 on this thing, I'm just ripping along 7th gear. That's right, 7th gear in tour mode. We're doing 55. And just, I mean, woof, so easy. This bike really, when you say it's a joy to ride, J-O-Y, sure is. Really, really is. And then in the summer, I mean, you got this little doohickey here. You can let the air in with the vent. The wind protection's good. The little mini cub storage. The only knock that I had on this is the small cargo. And I'm going to show you, because people in the comments said, you don't show us the bags. I've shown you the bags extensively, but for you, I'm going to do it again. I'm going to open them and show you. Those of you with the bags, right? Little touch button. Here's your cargo space. It says 20-pound limit. I have these little bags that fit in, courtesy of Deluxe Chip. Thanks, buddy. So these are like a weekend duffel bag, and you can see here, cargo space. Okay. You'll fit that much space. There's the width, the length. That's what you'll fit in here. Woo. On both sides. You know, even little slow maneuver, everybody says this thing is hard to ride at slow speeds. It's really not. It's no different than any other bike. Here I am in a little city traffic, right? Touristy spot. Both feet are still up, none on the ground. Just in tour mode, creeping along. Pretty easy. Now, if I'm going to do a lot of slow speed maneuver work, I'll just simply switch it into manual mode so I have full control. Real easy. And if you're super paranoid and don't want to do that, just put it in rain mode and do your slow speed maneuvers like you would anywhere else. I mean, and that's what you get from having the bike. You learn the workarounds instead of just making a blanket general statement of it's hard to ride at slow speed maneuvers. Have you done it? Alright, so let me show you my favorite thing about this Goldwing. You see this right here? Sport mode. Right? And you just change it by this little mode button right here. Right here. You can do it while you're riding. But no traffic. Sport mode. Ready? Hear it too? I mean, it's just unbelievable. The handling and sport mode. It just sets the Goldwing apart from every other touring bike. Because it's just like, oh yeah, this is the best touring bike, and oh, by the way, it can do this too. You know, unless you have a really modified performance bagger, you're not getting that out of anything. This thing is awesome. Hence, the tough wrestling with the decision. Now, what makes it a little easier is I got that 2024 Z900. Obviously not for touring, but the handling and the sportiness and the fun, I mean, that's what that bike's all about. So I do get a lot of that, which is what I like about this. I don't get the touring on the Z900, of course, but that's where this comes in. So yeah, and I'm not a big 10-day trip person, which this bike is amazing for. I love these day trips, these mountain rides. I would do a 10-day trip, just kind of never really worked out. But I don't hear a sewing machine when I hear that. Do you? Do you hear a sewing machine? Nah, it doesn't sound anything like that. Wait. Ready? Totally different, right? You know, and the people that have the complaints about the DCT, look, I understand you want to feel the clutch and shift with your foot. That's great. But man, when you ride a DCT and you realize how much of an engineering marvel it is, like, you'll love riding this bike if you do it. Most of you that don't ride it are afraid you're going to like it too much. And you're going to have to admit you like a DCT. That's okay. Come on. You can still go ride a manual all you want. They're not disappearing. Yet. Alright, so here's another awesome feature, right? You're on this big steep hill. This is a gully. You put it in reverse. See, you got the little handles here, plus and minus. Now we're just going to creep back and walk it up this hill, which otherwise would have been a pain in the butt. But you know, as you guys can see, you got the flat 6, the performance. I mean, the DCT is amazing. Heated grips, got the aftermarket seat, heated. You got your cubby storage here. You have another little cubby storage here if you really want it. And that's how you get to your gas. A little here, pop that, gas tank, right? Or gas can, gas lid, whatever you want to call it. And furthermore, let's get on here. LED lights. And then when you get on, right, you have all this. People look at this like it's a jigsaw puzzle. All your controls can be done from here or here. So when you turn it on, I'm not going to start it, but you'll just see we have, you know, 68 degrees, got the mileage, speedo. You got your tach. But, you know, you're initializing with your navigation. You got a lot of, I know some people say this is dated tech. It's still pretty good. Apple CarPlay, should it be on here? This navigation works great for me. But see, here you go. You got your navigation. And then you can simply, right from here, you got your home button. You can go through audio, navigation, phone, vehicle setting, audio setting. Pretty simple. Everything's right here. Here's your heated grips, your back button. You can lock your handlebars. So, yeah, I mean, just an awesome machine. So what say you all? Is it time to let the Goldwing go? Let me know in the comments below. We're going to ride off up into the mountains. Thanks for watching. Don't forget,